Hey, this is Ricky Fondo, and here's my trip report from about a year ago. Um, so, I meet up with some friends, not really some friends, but some mutual friends. One of my friends, and a bunch of people that I don't really fuck with. We get together and we decide to take acid. Hop in the car, it's me in the back, one guy who's a trip sitter, and this other guy, Daniel, who I'd hung out with before, but I didn't really fuck with. Thought he tried too hard to be cool. Um, but we took acid, and at first, it was really simple. It didn't really have that significant of an effect. I'm pretty sure I was already high, so it was just kind of like being high in the back of the car. And I'm sitting there with the trip sitter, and he says, you're actually doing a really great job for somebody doing their first time. So I'm feeling good because of that. Then we end up at this party, and this is where shit gets weird. They have like crystals all over the place, and there's like kind of a new agey vibe going on. And I was not into it, man. I was fucking livid. I was sitting there like this, like, fuck these people, man. Fuck everybody, man. Fuck this, fuck that. And once the telepathy started kicking, that's when shit got really serious. So when people... Because when I first got to the party, I was initially thinking of just stripping all my clothes off, sitting in a chair, and just, like, making it a movie. I still wish I'd done that, but I got cold feet at the last second. And when I get in, people are communicating to me. They're saying, oh, well, fucking tease. And so I get bitter, I get pissed off and resentful, and I'm just sitting there like this. And it gets to a point where I start thinking about And it gets to a point where I start thinking about my childhood. I guess in an attempt to grapple on to anything that I could use as an excuse not to dive fully in. So I go back to my childhood, and what I feel is rape. Like, in the months after my trip, I got this idea in my head that my dad molested me, which wasn't true. But what actually happened was my mother raped me emotionally. My father refused to take any responsibility for not intervening, so that's where I got that idea, and I tried to blame him. Yeah, after that, I had a really strong spiritual experience where I saw all these things, these hallucinations, I remember like a sports jersey specifically. I think it was just like showing me where I would end up if I followed the path of acting like a girl, which I was doing at the time. And it was not pretty. And I saw a bender. I saw from an inside view of a self-destructive bender from some cynical white woman. And to this day, I can't tell if it was supposed to be me or my mother. But I'm going to assume it's her, because actually I don't know. Assuming it's her, after the bender where she dies, the sky opens up and shows the forgiveness of God, like light coming down, like, yes, even my mother is going to heaven. After that, everybody in the party is cheering at me, trying to get me to do something, trying to, get me to be a spectacle, get me to, embrace the play. There's one guy who's, going easy on me, or easier on me, and is like, nah, I think he just spends too much time on the internet. And I kind of wonder if that's, Like, if I followed that advice, my life is just a joke. Like, I keep following, like, the one single lenient guy until I'm dead, and then it gets to the point where I'm just like wild goose chase of like looking for things that I can improve myself on without actually taking responsibility for being alive. So it got to a point where these moms come in and they want to dance. So they walk up to me and they're like, yeah, come on, come on, come on. You can, yeah, yes, yes, yes. And then I get to a point where I just accept it fully and I smile. I take her hand and I stand up and everything is perfect for like a few seconds. And then I just lose it and I start like dancing sarcastically. And then she's like, ugh. And I sit back down and I'm in the same spot for the rest of the party. I also saw my psychological shadow, I call it Tomcat, because all during the party there was this projection on the walls of Tom from Tom and Jerry with like crazy eyes, and I realized like after a while that that's my shadow, and if I don't accept that, it's going to control me. And something I said to my friend at the party was, my parents aren't more powerful than me, but he is. Another thing is I saw what waited in store for me for my life as a gay man, where it's just a really fucking awesome movie. A bunch of kids just running around in the middle of a dying empire, just fucking living it up. Another thing that happened once I left was I looked at myself in the mirror and I saw, obviously my pupils were widened, but I saw that I was a person. And that sounds so banal to say, but it was such a significant experience. Like just to see that, yes, I am my own person and I am one of God's children. I like look at my hand and I see like the little patterns. Like these patterns you don't see in everyday life, but these just patterns of life just moving across and shifting and shaping. And it was beautiful. But yeah, at the end of the party, my friend Oscar drove me home, and he communicated to me telepathically like the message from John Lennon's Imagine, which is like, I hope someday you join us, because this is a really beautiful life that we just showed you. And what they showed me was life. They showed me like the life that was waiting for me. When I went to church the next morning, that was an experience. That was fucking eye-opening. I never really bought into church. I always thought it was bullshit. And I always thought that it was a weird cult-like environment. But that really just solidified it and hit it home. Like, you could... The preacher was a black guy who, like, played up all his stereotypes, and not in like a funny way, but like in a minstrel show type of way, where it's like, oh, black people, we do this, and then all the white people in the crowd go ha 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 in unison. And Steve Harvey was there too, and he was like the one guy I had to hold on to because I could relate to him, because you could tell that he wasn't a complete charlatan like the preacher. And you could tell that unlike the people in the crowd, he wasn't buying into this bullshit. He was just doing it for a paycheck. I don't remember why he was there. I think the black guy was talking about some relationship stuff, and Steve Harvey was like, hey, celebrity, teach us about relationships. But yeah, man, that just showed me the level of suspicion and paranoia and hate and just underlying fear. It's hard to say it without sounding like a bumper sticker, but it really, what Bill Hicks says about choosing between fear and love, that's the choice I was faced with that night. I was faced with love, and then I was faced with fear at that church. And you could see in the eyes of these people as they left to go to their cars, to go back to their little family units, just how just how suspicious they were of everybody and untrusting and unloving. So, plan on doing it again, hoping that I'll be able to get with the program this time around. Definitely made a lot of progress since that trip, so hopefully I'll be more open, hopefully I won't be such an asshole, hopefully I won't be such a reductionist piece of shit, but that's all I got. It's tales from the trip. So, see ya.